from successwebsite.com, and I've got Christy Philly on with me today.
Hello, hello. I'm great. How are you, Steve?
Very good, thank you. We have lots of people on the call today, well over 100, and which is pretty good. We've got a holiday here in Canada. It's Victoria Day.
Yes. God save the Queen.
God save the Queen. I don't know how old the Queen Victoria would be today, but it's well into the hundreds. So anyhow, so we're running on a limited staffing here today. So if anyone has questions after the call, we do have people that can take your calls on our regular phone number, 1-800-361-9527. But be patient if you've got something you need to get done today. It is a holiday here. I guess everybody in the U.S. has their holiday next Monday.
That is correct, yeah.
Which is Memorial Day, I believe. And on Memorial Day, we will have lots of people working, which is kind of strange. But anyhow, if you anyhow, that's where we're at today. So I'm glad everyone could join us today. What we're going to do today, Craig has mentioned, I'm sure, to everybody going back to the last couple weeks, we're going to try and answer as many of your questions as we can. So any questions you've got about internet marketing, about your branded site, about your unbranded site, running pay-per-click either through Google or Facebook, responsive websites, mobile sites, whatever your questions are. If you've got questions, you can post them into the questions section, and we will be glad to try and answer as many of those as we can. Anything that's been coming up regularly, Christy? Maybe we can deal with a couple of common ones before we get
Absolutely, yeah. I think that, we've got, we do have a large attendance here today, so welcome everybody. Glad to see such a great turnout. And I know that some of you are brand new, so, kudos for you. I know that you've been sort of filling your time with webinars and learning, and I think what we hear most commonly is that it's just overwhelming when you first start. There's a lot of information that is thrown at you, a lot of paradigm shifts taking place where you sort of have to start thinking about trying new things, trying new ways of marketing, and how to use all these systems. So we actually have a weekly webinar that we do through Success Website. It's called the Success Website Jumpstart Live Webinar, and you may get those emails. You should be getting those emails every week to remind you that that these are taking place. And the purpose of those webinars is to basically give you some of this information in bite-sized chunks. Easy to digest, easy to implement, and every week we cover a very specific topic. So last week we covered listings and how to leverage your listings and add them to your Success website and all the different listing tools we have available to our members. This week we're going to be covering the Google AdWords program and the pay-per-click management program that we have been using very successfully with our members. So we'll be sort of going through Google AdWords and how those ads are set up, and some of the finer details in that. So please make sure that you pay attention to those emails and make some time every Thursday between 3:30 and 4:30 Eastern Time. So if you're on the West Coast, I believe that's 12:30 to 1:30. We do record our calls and make them available. But make sure you get, if you can, get on the live call, because you can ask questions, we can answer them for you, and it's just an important way to sort of keep up to date with what's happening with your Success Website system and utilize all the great tools that we make available to our members. So sort of an easy way to stay up to date with what's happening within Jumpstart is to like our Facebook page. And I'm just going to bring it up here. It's facebook.com/SWS Jumpstart. And I'll show my screen here. And This is where we post all of our topics for our webinars, recordings, any updates that we make within our system. We also post those here. So if you like the Jumpstart page, then you'll at least be notified, what the topic is for that week. And also we provide you with a link to get on the webinar as well. So hopefully you'll all get onto that.
Are you showing that, Christy? Because I'm still showing the Craig Proctor site.
Oh, yeah, I thought I did. So do you see it now?
Not yet. Maybe there's a slight delay, but there we go.
Okay.
And scroll down, show the picture of Queen Victoria.
That's right, yeah. That was our beloved queen. We named this wonderful holiday after. It's also a good excuse to drink beer and do some gardening as well. So.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, well, we got, let me just see, we got a bunch of questions here. Mm-hmm. One of the first questions here, let's sort of break these on. Thanks, Maria. We will have one on you. That's great. Okay, we've had a couple of questions about, I guess, new coaching members wanting to get some of the coaching campaigns on their website.
Okay.
And what do they have to do to get those, like the guarantee programs? How do they go about getting those extra pages?
Well, yeah, we do have quite a few extra pages for coaching members, and if you have a request to, add extra pages, or if you need a campaign added, or if you just have a question, like in general, right? If you go to successwebcare.com, submit a ticket. This is our ticketing system, and this way everything gets tracked and recorded. Submit a ticket and let us know that you are in the coaching program. You need to have those extra coaching pages added to your website, and we will go ahead and just confirm your level and update your website. So that's successwebcare.com, and that's where you can go ahead and submit your request. Really easy. You just hit this button here. Are you seeing this, Steve? Are you seeing my screen?
Back to the Craig Proctor site.
You're back to the Craig Proctor site. Okay.
I'm just seeing the browser window.
So I'm wondering if, yeah, no, that should be fine.
There we go.
So I just maybe need to refresh when I change tabs here.
The main name to get to that is successwebcare.com?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So you can just go in here, submit your ticket, choose the department, and if if it's a technical thing, if you need a domain name forwarded, or if you need some graphics, or if you have a pay-per-click question, just select the department, and then put in your full name, your email, the priority. So say you've got something like you've got a postcard that's being mailed out, today, and you're not sure if the domain name is working, or you've got an urgent matter, you need it to be looked at right away. Just choose urgent for the priority, or if it's not, then just choose the category that applies to your situation. Just type in the subject here and then the details. So, if coaching pages are what you're looking for on your website, subject can be coaching pages. If you want us to make sure you've got the responsive layout and platform, then you can just type in responsive or new site. Basically, once these tickets come in, we can respond to those and everything's tracked. So that's what I would use. If you're not sure if you have all of the pages, or if you want us to update your level, just go to Success Web Care and submit a ticket.
Okay. And one thing I would add, if you're going to submit a ticket, try not to sort of pile 10 different requests into the tickets. Makes it very difficult. What often happens is you'll get a bunch of those done, or they'll get spread around. Like, say you make a request, I need a graphic change, and I need this done, and I need that done, and I want a mobile site, and all those different things. What usually happens is somewhere, some of them are going to get missed. But if you sort of submit one item per ticket, then each of those tickets will get addressed. If it was a graphics change, we'd go to the graphics department, they'd get the graphics fixed, and that ticket will get solved. So don't feel the need to put in every little thing that you need to have done at once in one ticket.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's a lot easier, and you'll definitely get better results if you try to limit it to tickets. Now you can log in using your email address, and you can see all your tickets, and that way you'll see which things have been completed, and that should make things a lot easier. Okay, now you mentioned responsive websites.
Mm-hmm.
Got a couple of questions asking, what is responsive? I guess the simple answer to that is basically it's a version of the site that's been formatted to show up well no matter what device you're using. So if you're on a web browser on your PC or a Mac, or if you're on an iPad, or if you're on your phone, all of those things, the site will always show up in a format that's clean and easy to use and easiest to read for that device. And I guess the simple example is if you go back to the Craig Proctor site.
Yep. Should be showing it now.
Okay. And all of those pages will update, again, depending on which device. If you look at that site on your phone, you'll see it formats quite differently than it would format on your device. Maybe you can you resize that window just to give people an idea of how the site?
Yeah. Do you see the change here?
I've got the page here now. Yeah.
So maybe that's how it would probably look on an iPad, I believe, and then you kind of get to the configuration for phone.
There's a bit of a delay going here, so I don't know what the story there is, but anyhow, so that the idea is that there is that's what responsive is. Now, one of the things that all of our sites, we're in the process of converting sites to responsive or mobile first. So if your site doesn't have this, look, we've been telling people to do this for almost going on a year now, I guess. But if your site hasn't been done, we can convert it to responsive, give it the new look. What happens with people that have customized pages and things like that?
Well, we have to migrate all of their custom content to the new platform. So those pages will remain. They will be migrated to the new platform and made responsive. But sometimes that can just, add another layer of complexity to the job. So, we do have members who've been with us for many years, and we've done extensive customization on their website. So it does take a bit of time for us to rework that and make that responsive, but that's what we've been doing. So you don't have to worry about losing custom content, custom forms, custom graphics. We basically sort of migrate it all over and make sure that you are good with the changes before we make the switch. So you will have a new version of your website that you can review and basically give us the A-OK. And once we have that, we just take your domain name and have it point to the new version, the new responsive version of the website.
Right. So the idea is that we will create a new version of the site. So it would be something like new.yourdomainname.com and do the migration. And at that point, we would say, okay, here's what it's going to look like. Here's the changes been made. And you can go and effectively approve that. And at that point, we flip the DNS for the domain name, and the new site becomes your default site. So nobody else will see it unless they use that specific extra domain name until it's finished. So it allows us to make sure that everything's working and everything is to your liking before we flip the switch. Now, there's a couple of reasons why this is important, and everybody on the call should be doing it. If you've just joined, I don't know, what would you say, Chris? How long have we been putting up responsive sites by default?
I think it's been just over a year now.
Okay. So anybody that's signed up with Success Website in the last year should already have a responsive site. And one of the ways to you can quickly tell is, again, resize the window down, and it should reformat to look correct. It should always look good on the phone. So if you've got any doubt about that, let us know. You can see on the top left there's the menu bar is usually a good indicator as well, with the 3 lines at the top or the home graphic, so you can get a pretty good sense of whether you've got it or not. And the couple reasons why this is important is, first off, more and more people are using their phones to browse the internet, and if they don't have sort of a responsive site, they're not going to find the things we want them to find, which is mainly sort of the leads. Maybe you can go to one of the landing pages, Christy, like the stop renting.
Oh, sure. I'm on the home eval one, but let me go to the stop renting here. Do you want the branded or the unbranded?
I don't think it matters at this point, but we could. So yes, we would want to convert the branded and the unbranded. So if you've got both, we would want to convert both. As I said, there does seem to be a slight delay on the webinar system today. I'm not sure why that is, but so anyhow. But when you get to the landing page, it's even more important, because if we shrink the page down and it's not reformatting, often the form and the submission button, which is really we want people to fill in so we capture the leads, often will be way down the page, or they have to scroll off to the right or pinch or zoom, and we don't want to do that, because that means we get less leads. The easier you make it for people, the more people will fill in the form. So that's the one reason. The other reason is Google is starting to rank responsive pages formatted for mobile, higher in their search listings. Right now, they're only doing it for pages that are within their mobile search. So it's not a huge deal at this point, but it won't be long before I suspect that all of their search listings are going to give preference to sites that are formatted responsive. And so everybody should be moving that direction. So again, for people that have sites that are roughly older than a year or don't seem to have this format, you should be going through the process to convert for responsive. So again, go to successwebcare.com. You can submit a ticket there and just say you want your site converted to responsive, or you want someone to call to explain it to you. By all means, you can certainly call us again, 1-800-361-9527, and we can help you with that. Just remember, today's a holiday here, so that the response may not be today. But yeah, so that's the idea behind responsive, and it's something that, again, everybody should be looking to do, and that's great.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got a bunch of questions here. Actually, another really good question, asking what the best way to set up landing pages on the site. Do you need to have? It says, do you need to have a unique email address? I'm guessing they mean, this is from Parnell. Do they need to have a unique domain name, as I think what he means, for each landing page, or how do we go about doing that? So the example he gave is, okay, if we were going to send people to this stop renting page as an example, do we need to set up a unique domain name to get the tracking for that? And the answer is, it depends where you're running your ads. So if you're running your ads offline, so let's say you're running a newspaper ad or a postcard or something where people are going to have to type in the domain name, the answer is yes, you should have a unique domain name for that. So in this case, it might be stoprenting.com or howtostoprenting.com, and that would go through, be set up, it would go through the Track My Success, and it would go to that specific landing page, and we would know that you've got a hit that came from that postcard or that newspaper ad. Okay. Now, if you're running online ads, you don't need to register a unique domain name for all your online ads. So for example, if you're running a Facebook ad or a Google pay-per-click ad, you can actually put the tracking code right into the URL or the domain, so it will go directly to the page through the tracking system and register the same thing. It'll register a hit the same way. Now, Christy, I believe you set all that up when we're setting up Facebook ads or Google pay-per-click ads. All that gets set up for people?
That's correct, yes. So we make sure that you have a tracking URL, and that's all set up within our system.
Right. So if you're, as an example, if you were trying to drive people to the home evaluation page and you wanted to do that from your back of your business card, as an example, on the back of your business card, you would probably want to have a domain name online home evaluation, or Toronto online home evaluation, or Chicago online home evaluation, whatever that domain name was that you could register, that would go directly to the correct landing page through the Track My Success system. So then you would be able to tell, okay, how many leads did I get from handing out my business cards? And that's the reason you would use a unique domain name. Okay. Now, I'm sure that's something you cover in detail on the Jumpstart webinars.
It is, yeah, and we do live demos of how that works. I do have the command center open here, and I'll refresh. And Steve, just let me know once your screen changes. But in the Success Website Command Center, the My Campaign section is where you would set that up. So the first step is to really figure out, okay, what type of advertising am I going to do? Is it online? Is it print? Is it direct mail? What is it? Anything that is in print, whether that be direct mail or perhaps a newspaper ad, is going to require a domain name. You need to have a benefit-rich domain name that is going to point specifically to your campaign page. And when we say benefit-rich, I mean the domain name should have the benefit in it. So, York Region homevalues.com or York Region Stop Renting, those are the types of domain names that you want to use for your ads. So once you've got your domain name registered and you know exactly what that's going to be, then you can go into, and do you see my screen with the...
We're I'm into the command center now, and as I said, it seems like on my end anyway, there's about a 30-second delay. I'm guessing the GoToWebinar system is delayed today. I don't know. That's not normal, but...
Well, yeah, I'll try to time it properly, so I give it time to refresh here. So once you're in the command center, it's the My Campaigns tab that's where you're going to go to set up your domain names. And keep in mind that we can also do this for you. If you go to Success Web Care, submit your ticket, this is something we can set up for you. That's included. That's not a problem. But if you do want to, make sure that your domain name is pointed or learn how to do that, it's pretty easy. In My Campaigns, you would click on Create Ad, and here is where you can select your media outlet. And your media outlet could be a postcard, it could be a brochure, it could be the local paper, monthly newsletter. So the media outlet is essentially where this ad is going to be placed, what is delivering your ad. So once you've chosen the media outlet, then you can start filling out the rest of this form here. So the TMS code is the Track My Success code, and that's essentially the tracking code. So when you get a lead notification email, so say you've ran your postcard campaign, people are going to the website, they're filling out the form, the leads are coming in, you'll get an email notifying you that a new lead has come in, and that email will also include a source. So the source of that lead is the tracking code. So this is really important because we want to make sure that all of our ads are being tracked. We know how many visitors have come to the web page, how many leads have come through our campaigns. So this is really, really important to make sure that the campaigns are set up with a tracking code, and it's all within our system here. So the tracking code, once that's set, then you want to choose your website. So in most cases, you're going to be driving traffic to your unbranded website. Now, like, there are certain campaigns that are always unbranded, and then there are some campaigns that may be branded. So any type of like guarantee that you're advertising, or if you've got a listing, or if you are, say, you know, advertising to your sphere of influence through Facebook, let's say, then you may want to do a branded style campaign. But most of these ads that you're running are going to be less branded, because we just know that that the response rate is much higher on an unbranded site. So the target website you would choose here, and then you would go to choose your landing page. So the distress hot list page, or perhaps the stop renting page, they're all listed there. You can choose your page that you're going to be driving your traffic to. That gives you a URL, but the final step here is to set up the URL forward domain, and that's where you're going to plug in the domain name that you are using on your media. So if you've got a specific domain name that you're going to be using on your postcard, or you've got a domain name that you're going to be using on your newspaper ad, this is where you would plug in that new domain name, and that's going to allow our system to point that domain name to the page you have specified. So that's the final step. And then you can save this campaign, and it will be tracked within our system. And you can always go back to it and rerun it. You can copy it. You can obviously look at it once your ads start running to see how well the ad performed. So that's sort of a quick walkthrough on how to forward your domain name. So I'm hoping that my screens kind of followed along with me, and hopefully you all
it's there, Christy. It's just a bit of a lag. Yeah,
okay.
A slight lag. You're pretty good. It's nice talking in a 30-second delay, right? It's
yeah. Well, you know, I just go that much further to explain things, I suppose.
Okay, so there are a couple related questions that have come in. What does it mean when we get a text message with a page name? So you get a page name like gold distress or foreclosure distress.
Mm-hmm.
What is that text message all about?
Okay, that could be lead notification, I'm thinking.
Yeah, I believe that's what it is. I think, but what you're getting is a lead notification. So that page or that code it's telling you, that's telling you which landing page they went to. So it's a shorthand for, okay, if you got a lead on gold distress, that means they've filled in the form on that page. So it's a request for distress sale list. Or find out, again, let's find out what the home down the street sold for. So if you can go to that page and see which page it is, but it is just shorthand so that you can tell what people have requested in your text notification.
Yeah, so that also means that you've got the lead notification coming through to your phone as a text message, which is a good thing to do. So what I'm looking at here is the lead notification settings within the Success website, where we can activate this feature for you. So I don't believe this is active by default. I believe that we have to set it up. We have to know exactly which number we're going to be forwarding these text messages to. But you know, we all get tons and tons of email every day, and those lead notification emails can, you know, they can slip through and go unnoticed. So if you're getting them on your phone as a text message, it's really hard to ignore those, and you shouldn't be ignoring them. You should be actually picking up the phone or dialing the prospect's number right away and following up with that lead. So if you do want this feature set up and you would like us to get this going for you, then what you can do is go to the Success Web Care and just submit a ticket asking for the SMS text notification to be active, and include your mobile phone number and also the carrier that you're using. So your mobile carrier, whether it be AT&T or one of the various mobile phone providers or cellular providers out there. And then we can go ahead and set that up for you.
Okay, Chris, that sounds good. Okay, so the other question related to the domain names was, when we direct domain names to pages, how do I get, if I've registered domain names at GoDaddy.com or somewhere like that, how do I get those domain names set up to point to the right page? I noticed how to do the page pointing within Track My Success. Do they just have to send us a ticket that says I've got a new domain name? Can you set it up on, or they have to change their DNS, I believe?
They do have to change the DNS and it's the name servers. So this is just one of those technical things that unfortunately people have to do in order to get that domain name pointed. Quite often we'll just get your login information through GoDaddy, your sign-in info, and we'll do it for you. But it's not a hard thing to do. It's just sometimes a tricky thing to find within the GoDaddy interface. So what we're probably going to do is maybe put together a quick video for everybody, just showing where to look for that. I know that if you did a Google search for setting name servers for domain names, GoDaddy, they've got lots of documentation on how to do that. So it's probably worthwhile maybe just doing a bit of a search there. I'll see what I can find as well to forward to everybody. But the name servers, we can include those here as well, would be ns1.consulnet.com and ns2.consulnet.com, and that's CONSULNET.com.
Okay, so again, if you do that if you're on GoDaddy, you would go into the GoDaddy domain manager, and then you'll see the spot for name server, and you'll need to change those to ns1 or ns2.consulnet.com, and then anybody that goes to that site then gets pointed to the correct servers, and then our system takes over from there.
That's right.
Okay, we've got a bunch of questions about actually, got a couple of them talking about HDX, so the custom listings portal. When people request listings, does the system send information right away?
Okay, so yeah, if they're coming through your HDX website, and I'll see if I can find one for everyone to look at here, they will get access to listings right away. So all they have to do is register on the site, and they have unlimited access. The listings are delivered, and you don't have to worry about sending them listings. The system will also send them daily updates, so they will receive an email from the system every day saying that new listings have been added, and it's a really great way to get repeat visits, get people to come back to the site on a daily basis to see the new listings. So I've got an HDX site up here, and I hope you can all see that. This is in San Diego. So we have a listing portal that's showing all the listings within this particular MLS feed. but we also have very specific hot lists set up, like for condos in Del Mar. We've got Del Mar and Solana Beach homes, and various hot lists that we've set up to target specific areas and show very specific types of property. But once someone starts clicking on these links and going into the site to view listings, they're going to be given this form. So the registration form will pop up, and you can adjust these settings. So you could have this registration form pop up, after 30 seconds of being on the site, or maybe give them the chance to view 1 or 2 listings and then ask them to register. We have found often that the best way to get people to register is just by popping it up right away. So there are settings that you can experiment with. This site does bring up the registration form right away. So once someone fills it in, and I'll just put in my Christy is testing login here, which already exists. So let's see here. That will get them into the site, and they can view listings, and everything is going to be tracked. So now that I've signed in here with my email and my name, this client, this agent, who has the site, is going to receive lead notification that I have registered on the HDX site, and every listing that I look at from here on is going to be saved in my profile. So that information will be available to the client to see, and it will just keep adding to it. So my record will be updated every time I come into the site and view information on the website. So I don't know if people want me to go through sort of the different features on the HDX, or if you just weren't sure how it works. I know that we're getting a lot of people set up with this, especially from the last couple of conferences. So hopefully,
do we have a is there a jumpstart call on the HDX site?
We did cover the HDX quite a bit in last week's jumpstart call. Okay. So you should all be able to access that recording through our Facebook page. And if I go back here, on the Facebook page, we have a link to that recording where we looked at the HDX as well as SMS text messaging and some of the other listing features that we have. So yeah, we do have webinars specifically on that, and we can also schedule a call with you. So if you want to have sort of a one-on-one walkthrough or tutorial on the HDX and how it all works, then you can always, send us a ticket or give us a call, and we'll schedule that with you, which, could be extremely beneficial. Especially.
What's the link to that Facebook page?
Let me I can grab it here.
You can post it into the chat for people just.
Yeah, we can post it here. And I guess I would do that under the chat. Here we go. Okay, so yeah, it's a webinar jam replay link. So that's there in the chat panel that everyone can access. I mean, the real benefit with this type of tracking and profile building within the HDX is when you get into the My Leads and see how much more information you have for your leads once this is active. And once we have traffic going to it and we're actively generating leads through it. So a lot of what we do through our management program is to set up specific campaigns for these hot lists. So whether it be Google or Facebook, we will advertise for you a very specific hot list of homes. So in San Diego, we may be offering instant access to foreclosures and distress sales in San Diego. That type of campaign is very, very effective. We know that it generates a lot of leads, but we can also fulfill the request and provide the listing data automatically once they come through with the HDX. So, it's not just a pretty site that's there for people to use. We also actively market it and build squeeze pages onto it and run campaigns through it. So that also adds a very beneficial level of technology to the system, having that in place.
Okay, we got a couple of people asking about, they don't have HDX, they're sort of wondering is there an extra charge for it, or is it available in my area? Mm-hmm. And maybe what you can just talk quickly about how to get set up or what the extra cost is or how that works.
Sure. Well, if it's not available in your area, you can always just let us know that you're interested. You may be in one of those areas that we are working towards getting. So there's no harm in just letting us know that you want it, and then we can sort of let you know how possible that is, or whether or not that's one of the boards we're working on. If we can set it up for you, there's probably not a huge increase. It starts at $3.99, I believe. That includes the management. So if you are at that $3.99 level, then you should have branded, unbranded, HDX, as well as management for either Facebook or Google for your ads. So that really gives you the full system.
Right, so you're getting, with that, you get the custom MLS, which is the HDX. It allows people to search for hot lists and automatically deliver them. You're getting the managed Facebook and Google service, as well as a branded and unbranded site, and that's $3.99 a month.
Right.
If you do have questions about that, by all means, give us a call, 1-800-361-9527. We can check specifically for your MLSs. We do have most of them covered. There are some that have extra fees and some things that don't make them quite as easy to get you set up, but we can certainly look into that and let you know exactly what the details are in your specific MLS. Okay. Okay, we got a whole bunch of questions here about Facebook campaigns. Maybe you can just start with sort of a little primer on how Facebook ads are different than Google ads.
Sure.
And I'll see if we can cross off as many questions as we can going through that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. Facebook is a great way to get exposure for your ads and get traffic to your website. So if you're a user of Facebook, and I know that many of you are, then you're familiar with the news feed, okay, or the timeline. This is sort of the information that you're scrolling through passively, on a daily basis, where you see posts from your friends, or you may see posts from your colleagues, but you will also see sponsored posts. Okay, you will also see ads in that timeline. That's essentially what we're doing with our Facebook ads. We're making sure that we get in front of people on Facebook and offering these compelling marketing messages to get people back to your website, back to your landing pages. Now, the big difference between Facebook and Google is that what we're doing with Google is we want to make sure that your ads show up when someone searches for relevant information. So Google is very much about search marketing. And when someone sees your ad, it's likely because they were actively searching for information on that topic. Most people, when they go to Google, they're looking for information. They're looking for specific information. That's not necessarily the case with Facebook. With Facebook, they're just sort of browsing through, and if something catches their eye, they click on it. So it's called display advertising. That's really what Facebook is. But because there are so many eyeballs and so many people using Facebook on a daily basis, it is a great opportunity to get traffic. You know, people are going to see your ads. They are going to click on them, and Facebook is building a very strong advertising platform for advertisers. So we've been doing the Facebook ads for probably a little over a year now, and I have seen so many changes, so many things added to this platform that you know, it's a very exciting time. It's kind of like the Wild West, really. That's what Facebook is. So when we're putting together our ads on Facebook, you know, you got to think about, okay, what is the message? What is the marketing message? You know, are we offering a hot list of homes? Are we offering a free home evaluation? Are we offering, you know, to have them find out what the home down the street sold for? These are the offers that typically work well on any type of media outlet. So the same goes for Facebook. But because it's such a visual medium, you know, we have to also have a nice graphic to go with it. You know, we have to make sure that our URL really stands out and is not buried in copy. So maybe I can bring up some examples of some Facebook ads, and I will try to do that here and show you guys sort of some of the ads that we do typically set up. So just give me 2 seconds here. I'm going to find some pages for you. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to share this and show it. And we'll give the go-to meeting a couple of minutes to catch up here. So what I'm looking at is a community page on Facebook. This page is called Ballard Homes for You. And we are essentially advertising to a very specific area. I believe it's in the Seattle metro area called Ballard. So when we're setting up our ads, first is to create this community page. So we've got a community page that is centered around this area and real estate. So very simple. You know, we just want to make sure that the community page has the area name in it and then something relating to real estate. So you have Ballard Homes, Ballard Real Estate, Ballard Home Information, Ballard Home Deals, anything like that will work. So once we have our community page set up, then it's time to start posting our ads. So this is an example of a typical ad, and we've got our headline here. And when you're creating headlines in Facebook, also be aware of, you know, this is still a social network. You know, this platform is still meant to be social, and, you know, you have to sometimes be a little bit savvy in how you're wording your ads. So we've got here, check out today's best deals in Green Lake. Green Lake is just a smaller area, I believe, close to Ballard. Instant access to new listings in real time. Click on the link below. So we've got a very simple offer, you know, best deals in Green Lake, instant access to new listings in real time. Click on the link. And then we have a photo here that represents, you know, the area that we're showing listings for. Now, when they click on the link, it goes to a squeeze page. And the squeeze page is designed to be responsive.
Christy, just so you know, we do have a delay, either this, I don't know what the delay is going on here, but it doesn't seem like anybody can see the stuff you're doing here, so including me.
Okay, so you're not even seeing the Facebook page at all? No,
I'm still on the San Diego search.
Okay, yeah, I mean, it's tricky because according to my GoToWebinar screen, it is on that page. So yeah. I'm trying to sort of keep up and figure out how to work this thing.
Okay, why don't we do this? Why don't we? I said we're not going to be able to get through this properly today anyway. Why don't we? Can you arrange to do something about Facebook on the next Jumpstart call?
Well, actually, we are going to be doing Facebook in the next couple of weeks, but
Okay.
like this week's call is all on Google Pay-per-click,
Okay.
and then the following week is going to be Facebook.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. No. Maybe you can. I know if people go to the. Are there any of the recorded calls in the Jumpstart area still?
Yes. Yes, there are.
Okay. Maybe we can just explain that to people. As I said, I've gotten about 30 messages in the last 2 minutes saying that nobody can see what you're doing. So.
Mm. Okay. So yeah, can you see the command center now at least?
No, everyone seems to be stuck on the HDX page for Search San Diego Homes. So.
Okay, so let me close that down here, and I'm going to refresh again. And hopefully it'll start to show the correct screen.
Isn't technology wonderful?
Yeah, I've been telling you that we were having some issues with the webinar jam last week too, where it seems like no matter what we're using, there's some sort of technical issue.
Okay, so I'm back to seeing Facebook page now.
Oh, okay. All right, well then, okay, so that was the Facebook page. That was the community page that I was describing about 3 minutes ago. So I'm going to try refreshing again here and see if I can bring up the Jumpstart page, because in the Jumpstart Learning Center, and I'll just sort of describe it to all of you just in case you can't see my screen. When you log into the Command Center and click on the Learning tab, that's where all of our recorded webinars are. And we've been doing the Jumpstart weekly webinar for probably about 2, maybe 3 years now. So there are a lot of recordings, but the most recent ones will be near the top. So I believe we had one that was recently, well, it was recorded on February 12th, but it's still pretty relevant. Things haven't changed that much since February. So if you go into the recorded webinars in the Jumpstart Learning Center, the February 12th call that we did is all on Facebook advertising. And that's something that you can check out, where I do walk you through exactly how we do it. But to be honest, if you are having a hard time with the Facebook ads, if you're not quite sure how they work, we can do all this stuff for you. So if you are part of our management program, if you are at the $299 or $399 level, then we could be setting all this stuff up for you, and that will sort of take that part of it off your plate. You don't have to worry so much about how these things are set up or how they work. We'll take care of that for you. But we do a lot of calls on this topic. I know that many of you are interested in it. We also have a Facebook playbook that we can give you all access to. I'll try to dig up a link to that, and that's something that that you can download as well and use as a reference. So I'm going to see if I can find a link to that while we're wrapping up some of these questions here.
Okay, Christy. Again, we're still not seeing anything. Like I'm up to the Green Lake Best Buy's landing page.
Oh wow. Okay, so then it's a huge delay.
Yeah. So what? So okay. So what's the? Okay. So if people want to get to the Jumpstart page within Success website, what's the quickest way to get to that?
The Learning tab. So once you log into the Command Center.
Okay, so you go to your own domain name /control, and then you can log in. Once you get to that, go to the Learning tab, and at that point,
then you just scroll down a little bit, and you'll see recorded webinars.
Okay.
It'll be right there on the left-hand side.
There, and very good. Okay.
I'm also posting a link for everybody into the chat section to get that that playbook as well, the Facebook playbook, where I sort of walk through all of the components in setting up a community page, running a page post engagement ad, all of the targeting settings, everything is all in there. So that's in the chat link to that.
Okay, well, we're just about out of time here. So what I'm going to do, we're going to try and keep the webinar open for a few minutes. I'm going to try and clear out the queue of some of the questions by email. If you haven't had your question answered, we're happy to make sure we do answer your question. Again, 1-800-361-9527. Some of the questions I've specifically left out because they were a little bit specific to your situation. So if that's the case, by all means, either send us a ticket through successwebcare.com or give us a call, and we will do our best to get all your questions answered. I'd like to thank everyone for joining us today. We've gone a good hour today, and I think we've addressed most of the questions. I'd like to apologize for the technical issues that the webinar system seems to be having today. I don't know what's going on. Maybe everyone's sitting at home using the internet today, and there's something going on. Anyhow, I'd like to thank everyone for coming on. And again, if you do have any questions, by all means, don't hesitate to give us a call or submit a ticket through Success Webcare, and we're happy to get all your questions answered. Okay, so this includes the audio portion of the call. I will try to answer. If you stay on in the background and you've asked a question, I will try to answer the question. But if you leave, I won't be able to. So we'll do our best to get a few of these questions in the queue answered. But other than that, this ends today's call. Thanks, Christy.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thank
everyone.
you, everybody. Have a good day.
Have a great day.